Welcome back to more complexity casting action. I'm your casting host, Beef. Thanks for joining me, guys. We're back with more Druidz, more complexity, more Scrimcast. Let's get back into it. Game number 3 in this Scrim series. Complexity making it look pretty easy in games number 1 and 2, but Druid's showing us some heroes that we don't see too often. Of course, the lock pool in the last game did consist of Shadowblade, Gemini, and Artillery. And of those, Artillery did make it in. Moon Meander actually picking him up and had something like a 500 gold per minute game. So, not bad. Looked pretty damn good and absolutely shut down Zlintz on bubbles. Something that I haven't seen done very well just yet. So, nicely done there. But DrDz, what are they going to run this time? Used the Soul Stealer last time. And of course, Moon Queen before that. Will they do something a little bit unconventional this time? Try to find some chink in the complexity armor. We'll have to see, though. Guys, let's get back into it. Banning stage going out right now. Keeper of the Forest and Moon Queen being banned by complexity. So you typically do see that Keeper of the Forest banned by the Helmborn team. And the Moon Queen ban just showing the amount of respect that the complexity team has for the Moon Queen. She's just such a strong carry right now. People are really starting to fall in love with that hero, and I know that I am as well. I watched an IHL game 2 days ago where Riser and Franzi and GG Slayer and a few other competitive players were on the same team. They gave up like 9 kills first in the first like 5 minutes of the game, and everyone just wanted to leave except for Riser, and Riser just kept playing on that Moon Queen. And sure enough, 25 minutes into that game, Riser with a shrunken head and a Geometer's Bane on Moon Queen genocided the opposing team and came back to actually push down the racks at about 35-40 minutes, won the game. So that hero is just so strong. Let's get on into this game, though. Aluna, Wild Soul, Plague Rider, Fade, Glacius, and Tundra. Those are your lock picks. So we got a couple of strong supports with the Aluna and the Glacius. We'll see if those do get picked up. Game 1, Wild Soul made it into the lock pool and was not picked up at all. We'll see if he does get picked up this time. Plague Rider joins in once more, and we'll see if he makes it into the suicide roll or not. And then, of course, you've got the map controlling ganker initiators, Tundra and Fade. I want to call them siblings, but I don't think I can. They do very similar jobs, though, and we'll see if either of them do get picked up in this game. Banning stage, we go in with Pebbles, Draconis, Meraxis, Silhouette, Parasite, and Jeraziah. So Pew choosing to ban out the Pebbles, Meraxis, and Parasite. Going with a lot of gank-heavy bans right there. Wants to make sure that those very strong gankers are not going to be making it in, which leads me to believe he's going to be going for a very strong hard carry strategy. Wants to make sure that his carry is going to be safe. But with the Fade and the Tundra both in the lock pool, one of the teams is going to be picking up at least one of those heroes. I wouldn't expect those two to be on the same team. But I would certainly expect at least one of those heroes to be making it in. And there is actually a pickup that makes sense for DrDz there. Let's take a look, though. First pick is, in fact, Bubbles here for Druidz. They finish it or follow it up with Warbeast, and they've got another pick coming out right now. Of course, the Bubbles. Zlintz loves playing that hero in the suicide capacity. But Warbeast, that's a hero that you do not want getting ganked by somebody like that. Parasite, the Meraxis, or the Pebbles. And so that makes a lot of sense. They picked the Wretched Hag as well, so going with a great solo short hero, mid if she needs to. But, well, we'll see if Fabelli's going to be playing that one. I would certainly think that Fabelli will most likely be playing that one, but we shall see. With Warbeast and Wretched Hag already on the team, that's already a lot of farm being allocated here to the Druid's core, so I wouldn't expect them to be going with another real hard farming hero in the next portion. Probably a support, and then either Fade or Tundra, somebody that can get by with 280, 330 gold per minute, somewhere in that range, and still do a lot of work. But we'll go ahead and see. On the other side for complexity, first picks for them, Zephyr and Engineer, and they finish it out right there with Pharaoh. So, damn, Druidz, you just got birded. As, well, Zephyr going to be making his way in. We'll see if Chessie does play that hero, or if it's going to be Haxerin. Both of those players very adept with the hero, of course. But, interesting. Engineer will, of course, be doing the support thing for the team, and we'll see if one of the other heroes gets picked up as well. The only jungler on the board for Chessie to play would be the Wild Soul, so something makes me think he's going to be going for the Aluna, but nope. That's actually incorrect. So the other team's going to be picking Aluna or Glacius to finish it off right now. Complexity finishes out their team with Tundra Wild Soul. So Chessie will be playing the Wild Soul. Haxter going to be on the Zephyr. Moonmeander going to be doing his thing on Tundra, something that I just absolutely love seeing. And then, of course, you most likely will have Pharaoh doing his suicide thing. Tundra probably going to be doing solo short or maybe solo mid, and then Zephyr and Engineer short. But interesting. Beakid saying he feels the EU lag. I feel you, brother. California to EU is pretty damned rough. Druidz, they've gone with first lock over here, and it's going to be Fade. So that's what I expected. They should finish off their team here with the Aluna or the Glacius, and I think they're just kind of deciding which one might suit their team a little bit better. In the end, I think it's going to be Glacius. That's just my opinion. I feel like the lockdown potential of the Ice Imprisonment is a little bit better, but you know what? This is why I have competitive insight co-casters, guys, because they go with a Luna. I got to have somebody on to explain to me why they went with a Luna. I guess they really do like the lockdown potential. When you have a 2.5 second Burning Shadows on your team, the Fade Stun, well, it gives you a lot of time to set up that power throw, and I guess that's very nice to have indeed. But they do go with the Aluna, so interesting. I guess she has a little bit more push potential as well with the power throw. And if you're going with that War Beast, you always want to consider your pushing options. But let's get on into this game, guys. Get this scene changed up. We got Pew. He's going to be playing the Aluna. Most likely going to be heading toward that middle lane along with Brodex level 5 here on Fade. Zlint's going to be doing his suicide thing on Bubbles. Got to make sure to vendor those marchers in time, and he did. I was playing Suicide Valkyrie last night, and I forgot to vendor my marchers because I went to go change something on my settings or something. I forgot to vendor my marchers and went to lane with marchers and a health potion that somebody else bought me. And I was just like, okay, this is not fun, but I ended up destroying them. Absolutely destroying them because they were bads in the 1700 bracket. But let's take a look at the rest of this. DrDz sending Fabelli, their hard carry player. I've only seen him play Soul Stealer and Moon Queen. I swear to everything. I have never seen anything but Soul Stealer and Moon Queen being played by Fabelli. So interesting to see him actually on Hag this time. Of course, another hard farmer, but all is pretty much the same. Warbeast's going to be doing his thing in the jungle, being played by Karma Diaz, another player that I've seen play primarily support. But looks like we're going to be going for a remake, perhaps. I don't think that we're actually going to be going for a remake here, but maybe we will. I kind of hope not. But we'll see. On the other side, though, Haxter playing Zephyr in the short lane. We got Chessie here in the Wild Soul. Francie going to be supporting Zephyr up here in the short lane. I'm sure he'll probably rotate a little bit later. But Tundra playing with the new Tundra being played by Moonmeander using the newer avatar here. It's a pretty cool looking avatar. You'll see when he actually levels up his Cold Children, has that available. His staff will start to glow. And that's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. And short lane down here, it's going to be Fabelli on Hag up against Beakid on Pharaoh. Beakid, of course, getting EU'd this game. So he's going to have to deal with a little bit of lag. Let's go ahead and check it out. 240 ping for Beakid. And it's a little higher than your average going US West to EU. So I feel for the guy. Of course, I'm out here in California as well. And the ping can be kind of hard to deal with if you're not too used to it. Somebody like Slicks, well, Slicks is like, whatever, 350 ping. I've been playing on this since I was in a toddler diaper. As Lintz is actually going to try to escape here, does use the Shell Surf. Francie doing a nice job of denying experience to his amphibian opponent. Are turtles amphibians? I don't think so. I should know this. I would agree in animal science. But you know what? I should actually really know this because I actually wrote an article for the Journal of Animal Nutrition on the common musk turtle, and I don't know this, so it's embarrassing actually. I don't know why I brought that up, but it's Wretched Hag versus Pharaoh down here in the bottom lane. B-Kid hits level 3, only 3-0 in terms of creep score, and not quite able to connect on a couple of those last hits at the tower. Hag at 5-2, doing just a little bit better, and Tundra manning up a little bit against the Aluna. Tundra, of course, with 730 life with all these minor totems and 5.1 armor, is having a good time just trading auto attacks with Aluna right there. Hits very, very hard. Doesn't take a whole lot of damage with that armor, but of course the range there for Aluna and the power throw tilts the scales just a little bit in her favor. Oh yeah, having an extra player in the lane too, that Burning Shadows, would be very nice to have. Tower is going to help Moon out a little bit. Unfortunately, he's not able to make those last hits happen though. And still continues to fall behind a little bit here in the middle lane perhaps, as Zephyr goes in with the gust. Shell Surf's going to go out and Bubbles will be able to escape. Level 4 Zephyr going up against a level 2 Bubbles. Franzi's done a fantastic job of isolating the experience here for his lane partner. The Bird is just one of those that if you can get the levels nice and early, the farm will come. And then once you have the farm, well, everyone's just going to die. Towers are going to die. Players are going to die. Everybody's going to die. As Franzi's trying to make something happen here with Bubbles once again, but nope, not quite able to. Tundra trying to soak up a little bit of experience here in the jungle. Unfortunately, he's in the wrong position. If 4Beast was killing creeps right here, then he'd be able to get some experience. But not quite able to. Actually, Piercing Shards are going to go in right there. Where's the Cold Shoulder? Auto attack 1, Cold Shoulder, and boom! Bloodlust. So forget that. Moonmander says, I don't want any experience from his getting some jungle kills. I want experience from a Bloodlust kill. And, well, he does pick up that Bloodlust, and that's going to be, of course, very nice for him to have. After struggling in that middle lane, he's back up to 200 gold per minute with 2 CS. And hits level 4, so not bad at all. Piercing Shard's going to connect, and using all of his abilities to actually get those last hits. Moon, you can tell he's a very experienced Tundra player. Top lane Bubbles perhaps in some trouble. No. Is able to get out of there with the Shell Surf. Not a huge deal. Pharaoh actually in some trouble as well. Will he die to this haunt? Doesn't look like he should. Oh, he's actually going to die. Oh my god, he was 1 second, 1 HP from actually living right there. That is so unfortunate. B-Kid, he's got to be a little bit upset. I know that I would actually have put a hole in my monitor right there. I would have just hulked out, and that would not be bad. So you ask why I have technical issues, guys. It's because I break everything because I get mad. No, that is not true. Zephyr is actually doing a nice job of harassing Bubbles. Going in for the tower dive a little bit. Gus comes out, and wow! Zephyr able to get a solo kill right there onto Bubbles. So Haxerin just playing that perfectly. And Bubbles, a level 3, just not quite able to stand tall, stand strong against the Bird. Definitely unfortunate there. Oh, nice Burning Shadows goes out right there. Emerald Lightning going to connect as well as the Piercing Shards actually get Aluna extremely low. She is going to use that bottle though. She will be able to just walk on over, try to camp this top rune. Tundra going to be going for the bottom, so we'll see where it does in fact spawn. Tundra grabs the regen, and so just like that, he's back in the game. As Wild Soul's going to be connecting with Bubbles. Bubbles does not have a Shell Surf available just yet. 8 seconds left on that as a turret's going to go out. Bubbles is certainly in some trouble. The Typhoon on one end and turret on the other. Bubbles is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and turtles, whether they're amphibians or reptiles, whatever you want to call them, They're not able to squeak out of that too easy. Hag in the bottom lane, 33 and 11 in terms of CS. Looking pretty good in that respect. Not incredible, but 330 gold per minute. Definitely very strong. Going one-on-one against Pharaoh. B-Kid having a very hard time down there. 140 gold per minute. Piercing Shards right there from Tundra, utilizing his regen rune. Actually just did a fantastic job of breaking the healing potion onto Fade. So now Fade, when they go in for this last tower kill, well, Tundra can actually turn it around with an avalanche and Piercing Shards, and will be able to easily kill Fade. So Fade actually just going to come over here. And level 6 now activates the Reflection. They're going to go for a kill onto Tundra. Tundra starts to deny the tower, maybe even just a little bit of taunting. Engineer is there. Where's the Avalanche? Avalanche onto Aluna. There's the keg, and down she goes. So just like that, Complexity turning it around. They will be able to get the deny on the tower here in the middle lane. And a great job there with the Tundra Bird. I think they might have actually known where Fade was. She was, of course, invisible, but she wasn't invis when she started walking into the trees over here. And I think the bird might have scouted it, but very well played to Moon and the rest of the Complexity team. Now that Engineer has left this top lane, Bubbles is able to start getting perhaps a little bit of experience. Up to level 4 now, so still not great, but certainly not level 1 or 2, which you can sometimes be if you get stuck in a real hard suiciding position. But Zephyr with boots and a Helm of the Black Legion at 8 minutes in, looking kind of grim. A race to the bottom rune. Fade does pick up the double damage, and the defensive tower going to be taking a lot of pressure here. It is now in deny range. Glyph of Fortification being used, and will Complexity be able to score the deny? They should be able to, unless somebody mans up real hard. Tundra actually gets the last hit there just before the Hellhounds do come in. Another good job from Complexity. Warbies finishes up his Abyssal Skull, and we'll be able to start farming perhaps a little bit more effectively now. But Haxerin doing a little bit of creep cutting here in the top lane. Going to be starting a very aggressive push onto the tower. Boo Boo not quite able to do as much damage as he'd like to be at this point, and they will have to fall back for now. Zephyr going to kind of get into the jungle, kill some of these creeps, and Chassis going to be getting back to his own half of the jungle as well. Currently sitting at 232 gold per minute and 2,000 gold banked up. He's probably about halfway to a Mock of Brilliance right now. Of course, that farm will start to escalate just a little bit as time goes on. He and his bear do get stronger. We'll be able to get up closer to that 300 gold per minute range. Beacon's still struggling just a little bit to try to get those last hits off the tower. It can be very, very tricky to do, especially without a hatchet, which Pharaoh does not have. So I sympathize with him, but you always do want to be getting those last hits as much as possible. And in the position that he is in, where he's down at 158 gold per minute, you really want to get him. Double damage Fade with Reflection. Opens up onto Wild Soul. The Burning Shadow is going to be able to connect with 2. But Fade perhaps in a little bit of trouble. Gust comes in. There's the Typhoon, and Fade's certainly in some trouble now. Well, Shell Surf's going to come out. They're going to try to bring down Wild Soul. He does go down. Bat Blast Sonar Scream brings him down. Fade, Burning Shadow is going to be going out onto Zephyr, and Fade will be able to escape for now. Bubbles gets the kill onto Chessie. No, actually, that's not actually what's going to happen. Moonmeander with the Avalanche is able to get the kill onto Bubbles, though. And so Chessie went down quite some time ago. That was just still on the screen for some reason. But Bubbles, he was really, really stuck up in there, and Fade eventually able to escape.
Beasts of the land, hark my call!
Bird going to go in here and spot out Fade. Burning Shadows is going to be coming. Actually whiffs right there. And the tower is going to be able to get denied here in a moment. The Metamorphosis from Warbeast. But no, they don't want to chase. They just fall back against the tower denied. Zephyr's coming back in once again. Will they be able to get in there? Kelpfield going to be able to grab 2. And it does not look like Complexity has the initiation that they need. Beacon is there with a chalice available, but not willing to wrestle the Pharaoh into 4 players at 500 life to try to make something happen. So I could understand that decision, that's for sure. Windmander making his way back toward mid. Once again, going to be going one-on-one with the Hag for now. He does score a hit with the piercing shards, at least one end of the piercing shards.
Hark my call.
Beasts of the land, hark my call. Oh, reflection fade actually, and wants to initiate. No, not going to just yet. Now going to be making his way into the jungle. Got 6 seconds left on this. Opens up on Pharaoh. There's the coL and the burning shadows. Not going to have enough damage to finish it off. Sonar Scream will help though, and Hag gets the kill. Fabelli, serial killer. With all 3 of his team's kills, he's at 383 gold per minute, tied with Zephyr for top in the game. So even though these towers have been getting denied, in fact, all 3 towers that have been pushed in this game were denied, these carries finding their farm for sure. The coL team, they're even on gold right now, but they're up by about 2,000 experience, and that's in the early portions of this game. That can actually be a much bigger advantage, being able to get your supports to level 6, being able to get to that level 11 ultimate, as they're going to try to turn around to kill onto Zephyr right here. He activates the potion, or the portal, but he's just going to go down right there. 5 players make their way up, and this is going to be a free tower for complexity mid now. You immediately see them start spamming this down. As soon as you have everybody move into another lane, you should be able to take towers in the other lanes. But as Fade's actually going to be coming back out here after regenning just a little bit, they might not be able to take it for as free as we thought. Fade activates the reflection though, and will be able to escape for now. Oh, that was so well played right there. What? Like, holy crap, that. I guess that's what they were trying to do. Okay, let me explain what just actually happened there. The energy field goes down. The reflection will be purged as he crosses through the energy field. And Peter actually used the keg at the same time as the energy field and pushed the Fade through it, purged it. Fade immediately got avalanche ulted by Tundra and got killed. So that was extremely well played, coordinated. That was real good. But I mean, we'll see. I don't see any rev wards or anything right there. So, well done to the complexity squad. And Fade goes down. And that was his first death. DrDz is level 5. He's down to about 270 gold per minute. Still farming decently. But Moon Meander, when he went 1v2 in the middle lane, up at 245. So you'd want your Fade to be just a little bit stronger. Okay, guys. Alright, I see you, chat. I see you guys are all saying that there was a rev ward. So I have to take your opinion. Guys, I just wanted to be super excited for a big play. I thought you guys love big plays. His reflection does go out once again. Fade going to try to initiate perhaps onto Pharaoh? No. Not going to initiate just yet. Just doing a little bit of scouting. And no rev ward this time. But okay. So I guess there was a rev ward. Wasn't a huge play after all. I still thought it was real cool. But whatever. You guys don't want to be excited. I understand. Oh man, counter warding going on here by a Luna. No, just actually regular warding. Not going to be dropping counters anytime soon. That was spotted by Franzi's ward though. We'll see if the support player here for complexity wants to get over there and try to do a little bit of counter warding after all. Fade coming in and wants to get a bit of farm. We'll see what she goes for. She goes for the Ghost Marchers first of all, like we saw from B-Kid a few games ago, as Pharaoh's going to take a haunt plus a Sonar Scream right here. Hag's doing a lot of damage. The Bat Blast is going to come out as well, and Pharaoh might be in some serious trouble. Kelpfield comes out, and Flint gets the assist. Fabelli takes home the kill. Ultimate Warrior Streak now for the Druidz Hag player. And they're up now 2,200 gold, and the experience lead certainly dwindling as complexity. They have the advantage here in hero kills. They have the advantage in experience by just a little bit, but perhaps in a little bit of trouble. The counter ward is happening now. Actually, Franzi wanted to get the counter ward off, but instead picks up a haste rune and is not going to be counter warding just yet. Wild Soul, I believe, has picked up the Sword of the High. Yes, he has. So I'm sorry, I'm really bad about clicking on the bear. Normally I just click on everybody's stuff up here and check the little profile windows, but the bear doesn't show up there, and sometimes the bear doesn't show up at all when he's invisible. But I'm trying to get better about clicking on the bear. I know that's one thing people have given me feedback about. So there you go. He's got the Sword of the High. No boots just yet, however. So Wild Soul and Boo certainly a little bit vulnerable if they do get jumped. But as he will be finishing up his Mock of Brilliance here in about another 450 gold. Well, he's going to be able to defend himself a little bit just by virtue of putting out a ton of damage. Zephyr goes the Ghost Marcher's route to accompany that Helm of the Black Legion and his Mystic Vestments. So that is indeed what he's going for. As a result of being a level 11 at 17 minutes into the game, he's quite tanky for this point, and able to put out quite a bit of damage as well, leveling up that Gust, so he's going to be active in the team fights should they ever choose to engage on one. I would expect that Complexity, as soon as they get that mock on Wild Soul, which is in 200 gold, they're going to be wanting to knock down this mid tower real quick and then eventually turn their attention toward bottom. Emerald Lightning going out there up top. Pew, actually, Metamorphosis, and Zephyr is in some trouble. He is not able to get out of there. The Typhoon not able to save him. And I want to point out that with Pew, though, I've seen him about 3 times now, as Wretched Hag actually takes a lot of pressure. He goes for the Emerald Lightning on creeps next to a hero. I understand that. You want to get the longer bounce. You want to get the 1.5 second or 2 second bounce instead of just a 1 second bounce. Tundra's going to have to get out of there. Bat Blast finishes him off, though. Legendary streak for Fabelli. Can he extend that into something more? No. Pharaoh is going to be able to TP on out of there. And, well, all of a sudden, the Druidz team starting to look perhaps a little bit better. The middle tower does go down at the hands of the Helmborn team, but the Legion turning their attention toward the middle defensive tower in second tier, as with Tundra and Zephyr both down, this could very, very well drop super quick, and indeed it does. Last hit goes to Fabelli, who's now up at 423 gold per minute. Looking pretty strong for a Wretched Hag. You actually don't see Hags get off to this good of a start too often. Most of the time they are, just by virtue of their, how would you say it, they like to go in adverse conditions. You never really see them get too much of a good one-on-one, even if it's a one-on-one for them. Most of the time they're in the suicide role. But the short lane Hag here definitely getting the better end of the engagement against Beacon on Pharaoh, and as a result, Fabelli able to get off to a fantastic start right now. And going to be finishing up his Hellflower at about 20 minutes here, in addition to his Grave Locket, Steam Boots, and Ring of the Teacher. There it is. Finishes that up, and now some heroes like this, well, pretty much anybody are going to be in some trouble. Especially that Zephyr, though. If Hag is able to combo with one other person and they get the Hellflower onto Zephyr before he's able to drop his Typhoon, before he's able to consume the Cyclones for the heal or drop a Gust, Zephyr's going to be in some serious, serious trouble. But we'll have to see if that does happen relatively soon. And of course, Engineer, if he just gets spotted at all, he of course will just be in a ton of trouble. Engineer setting up a kill, perhaps, as Tundra's going to come in with the portal key in just a moment. The Avalanche is, of course, available. Oh! Tundra showing off that portal key, but unfortunately was not able to make it up the cliff. And does take a little bit of a fall, a tiny fall right there, back into the river. Just slipped on a pebble and fell backward. Peter going to bump into the Fade right there, as Emerald Lightning's going to go off. Zephyr drops the Typhoon immediately, but Engineer's there. He's able to get the energy field off. The Keg's going to connect. Warbeast goes down to harass the Pharaoh. Luna's in some trouble as well. Engineer's going to be going down. The mana battery not going to be enough to save him just yet. Pharaoh, actually, what the hell was that? As, oh, there's the Avalanche onto Bubbles. Bat Blast going to go out. Tundra in some trouble. The Hellflower is taking him down quite a bit. Piercing Shards going out. And Hag's actually in some trouble. There's the charge. Hag goes down. Fade activates those Deep Shadows and going to try to get out of there. Mock of Brilliance ticking down, though. And a quad kill coming out. Zephyr right there. Haxerin looking big. Fabelli, he was mentioning the Minotaur. This one right here, I believe, got the stun as many people got in range, and the stun from that Minotaur is actually probably what got Fabelli killed. You could see him pretty upset about that, and I would be too. You would be too. You don't want those random Minotaurs coming in and just getting you stunned. In the end, though, Complexity, they were looking like they were falling behind just a tiny bit there. No more. 9,000 experience advantage as well as a 4K gold advantage. Maka Brilliance with boots on the bear. Strider's finished up onto Wild Soul. Zephyr getting close to that Frostburn, if that's what he's going to go for. Knowing Haxorn, I would expect him to be picking up that Frostburn right now. He does have enough money for it. An I plus a... Oh, man, I'm so wrong. Lalonde would be so mad at me. He does actually just right-click a Shrunken Head. So whenever Lalonde and I talk about Zephyrs, I always say that they're going to go Frostburn, and Lalonde says they're going to go Shrunken Head. And sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. Jesse's going to try to get out of there. Will he be able to get the TP off? Hellflower goes up, and Jesse's in some serious trouble, trying to S2 his way through those trees. Not quite able to. Down he goes, so Maka Brilliant's not going to be able to save him just this time. Bubbles with a Neophyte's book, trying to get something done up in this top lane, trying to actually just soak up any experience he can. Zlint's down at 200 gold per minute, certainly struggling a bit. You know who's not struggling? Zephyr. 415 gold per minute. I mean, it's not incredible. I watched an IHL game last night where Triumph was a little bit higher than that. As Reflection opening right here. Burning Shadow Shell Surf Song in the scene. The power throw. Zlint picks up the kill. Zephyr goes down, and so knocks him back down to about 420. No, that was... What the hell was that? That was B-Kit on Pharaoh. What am I talking about in terms of Zephyr? I started talking about Zephyr and then didn't finish my thought, so I thought that was Zephyr that was dying. My brain is on fire right now, guys. I don't know what's going on. They're going to find Tundra here in just a moment. The bird might have been able to scout them out, and if not, the bear definitely does. Avalanche is going to come in on a fade right here. The Piercing Shards and the Cold Shoulder are there. Fade with the Burning Shadows able to get away for now. Deep Shadows activated, just finishes him off, though. Zephyr going to be up there trying to find any more targets. Not quite able to, though. As I was saying, I was watching an IHL game yesterday, and Triumph had about 600 gold per minute on Zephyr at 25 minutes into the game. Ended up being really item capped, but not traditional item capped by like 30 minutes in. Went for a portal key as well as a Hellflower on the bird. So interesting. I think he actually went straight post haste as well. So very much so a different build, and in the end, I believe that it did not work out for him. I'm pretty sure that his team did end up losing, but yeah, they did, because Pavement on the other side was playing Emerald Warden and got extremely fat on Emerald Warden. Guys, I got to reiterate once more, if you have not yet checked out the in-house league, the Crown 9 in-house league, you really should. Banning draft games most of the time, so you do see a lot of those interesting heroes that you don't see otherwise. You get, you know, your Brumbles and your Artilleries. You see those a lot more often. A Emerald Warden, just really cool heroes that you don't get to see normally. So anytime that you see the players streaming the Crown 9 IHL, make sure to go check that out. And of course, if you are an 1850 plus player, you can check it out on the competitive forums and get registered. As Bubbles is going to take cover of that first keg. Song of the Sea Kelpfield going to try to turn it around. Franthian's in a little bit of trouble. Perhaps a big Pharaoh ultimate, though, going to be able to catch two. Aluna's going to be going down, and Hag's going to be in some trouble, too. The nice root right there. Hag goes down, and Warbeast is the last man standing. He's able to take out one before he goes down, and will he be able to escape? The Metamorphosis is going to be wearing off here in just a moment. Gus finishes him off. A double tap there for Haxorn. And an 11,000 gold lead, or excuse me, 11,000 experience lead, 6,000 gold lead, and the Hellborn team looking fantastic. Genocide, they take down the bottom tower, and they're going to be able to take down this bottom tier 2, no problem, because there's nobody alive to deal with them. Goes down easy peasy. Haxorn gets credit for the kill. 509 gold per minute, and we'll be able to finish up his Frostburn now.
Serial killer.
Oh, Tundra actually maybe in a little bit of trouble, but they're going to be able to turn it around onto Fade right there. What the hell? The damage coming out of that Bear and Tundra. Piercing Shadows go... Or, what? Piercing Shards just absolutely massacred one as Wretched Hag takes a root and the Bear goes down. Wild Soul still manning up though. Engineer's going to be able to make contact. The energy field goes down, and so will Hag. Kongor Taunt comes out. The big guy makes an appearance in his little form, and the Hellborn team just completely on a roll. GG well played are coming out, guys. Vote to Concede goes up, passes, and Complexity. They're able to take the game once more up 3-0 in this Scrim series. So Druidz, they did a lot better in that early game. They were able to get the nice amount of farm onto Fabelli, but in the end just weren't able to pull it out. And so Complexity will take that one once again, guys. We're going to go to a quick break while we try to see if there's going to be another one coming up. I think I got time for maybe a couple more before I got some real-life obligations to take care of today. So hopefully we do have one or two more coming up. But guys, thanks for watching. This has been Complexity Casting presents Scrimcast live with Beef. coL versus Druidz. We'll see if we have another one coming up right away. Of course, one big shout out to Complexity Gaming for allowing coLcast to happen. And of course, the sponsors, QPad, PNY, Origin, G8 brand, Sound Blaster Creative, and Twitch. So if without them, coLcast would not be happening. I would not be here. So guys, thank you to the sponsors, thank you to Complexity, and thank you for you guys watching. Gonna play a couple commercials, and we'll be right back.